Hello friends, my name is Cybill Sixpence. My Christmas island is pretty much full now, but I found this odd little patch of land with uneven ground, so I figured why not turn it into a build challenge. From the front it looks small, but this is actually a split level house, and the whole back opens up into a bigger lower level tucked into the hill. I am using the Mitsuno 16 craft resource pack, so a few blocks may look a little different for you. Here's everything you need. Grab your blocks, find you some space, and let's go build together. So I know this is not the traditional piece of land that one would build a house on, but I'm letting you know that it is completely doable by filling into this challenge. Here is your floor plan, but ultimately you will need a 15 by 15 amount of space. And the idea of this challenge is to do as very little terraforming as possible and literally work with the land. So here I am just building the basic room of the house and then adding additional rooms using red brick, and the floor is made with acacia planks. Snow and grass and other things in your way can be a little bit aggravating and time consuming when we're removing them, but a simple bucket of water can flush it all away. To a veteran builder that might be old information, but for the new builder that might be a really useful tip and trick. From here, I'm going to start building up the second layer of the house with some stripped spruce logs. I am building this 4 high, and I'm also going to continue to use acacia planks for the flooring down below. I am mixing red brick with regular brick to give the bottom part texture as I build along. I'm using my composts instead of spruce because I love the way that Mitsuno 16 pack has this texture, and I just like it a little better than my spruce. It still has that spruce look to it. Once you have your floor plan placed, where you choose to put the stairwell is entirely up to you. That was just where I chose to put mine. It's your house. You can change it the way that you want it, but this at least gives you access to the lower level of the house. In my holiday island, I've used various different types of blocks for roofing. In this house, I'm going to be using the tough blocks. That would be the stairs and the block itself. And I'm going to be building them with a pattern of stair, stair, and then block, stair, block, stair, block, stair. And then, of course, the underside part of this pattern with an upside down stairs. I do cap this whole thing with a tough slab. But if you don't like the tough block, because I actually kind of wrestled with it for a little while. But there are lots of different blocks that you can use to dress your roof with. So if you have a preference, just go with this. Make this your house. This is just the floor plan and the suggestion. So on the 2 smaller rooms that we have extending out of the house, I'm just using a much simpler roof pattern of stairs, 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 and of course the underside being matched with an upside down stairs, and that will be a significant difference between these are extended pieces of the house versus the primary portion of the house. As far as the roof fill-in, I did choose to go in completely with these tough block combinations. As you can see with the other houses that you can see in the video, I didn't do a whole lot of mixed blocks or texturing so much, is because my Christmas village was kind of inspired by those cute little ceramic or glass Christmas villages that you can just display on your table with, like cotton and everything. And that was the inspiration of me doing all of these. So I am mimicking that kind of environment. I know a lot of builders, they like to mix and match their texturing in their roof or add in dramatic slopes and everything. I kind of leave those kinds of challenges for my more Octoberish looking builds, but you do it your way. This would be your house. I am using the brand new pale wood type in the secondary portion of the house. I figured it was really a color I had not used very much in my little Christmas village here, replacing it with wool, more or less, for the houses that I wanted to display white colors for. So I was really excited that we have a white wood now, so I can add that into my little Christmas village here. Throwing in some buttons. I'm using spruce, but if you want to use a different kind of button, that's fine as well. And then we'll just move over to the front. So I'm using spruce slabs for my front porch, and then kind of giving some railings with some stripped spruce logs. Adjusting the stairway, and then we're going to move on to our window, which all I'm doing is I'm setting it back by half a block by simply breaking out the floor pieces and topping or framing the window with stairs. So it kind of gives a little dimension. I'm using acacia gates for the little trimming around the edges of the house. My front porch awning is made with jungle trapdoors, and then I'm pulling that out with some additional stripped spruce logs. So basically just moving around the house, deciding where I want those windows at, and framing them also with stairs. The lower level is used spruce stairs, while the top portion is used pale stairs. I am using orange glass panes so that it gives it a warm look from the inside of the house. On the lower level, I am using a spruce trap door with an acacia gate to frame up that house, while the pale oak side of the house, I am using pale oak trapdoors for shutters. And from here, it's just basically about decorating like this little window garden right here in the front. I'm going to be using white lilies because I think it just looks really nice with the house. Up to you as to whether you want 3 or you want 1 or you want it to go all the way across and frame up the entire upper portion of the house. And then, because it's Christmas, we have to put garland all over the house. We're going to be using spruce leaves and just lining the lower portion, the lower stair, the upside down stairs, all the way around the house where it is fitted. So, for example, obviously we don't have any stairs where there would be blocks. We just put spruce leaves on the blocks, but definitely hitting the lower stairs. Of course, we can garnish the entire house with outdoor gardening, as that I think that makes the house feel more homey and alive and welcoming and cozy, of course. And lighting matters, and mainly I have hung my chains off of the spruce leaves themselves, so it holds well, looks nice, and it actually gives a little bit of depth. And just hanging that lantern there, and then just making sure that there is enough lighting around the bottom half of the house so that if you were doing this in survival, we're not going to be bombarded by zombies being too close to our house. We'll make sure that that is in a distance. I am just using regular brick for the chimney here with a haystack and some campfires, and then line that around with spruce trap doors. Now the pathway is not entirely part of the house. Maybe you are in a town already, if you're playing this on multiplayer, where perhaps your roadways and your pathways have already been established. I think anything can work. I am using stone brick and mossy stone brick and gravel. I'm even using gray concrete, cracked stone brick, and then of course the equivalent slabs, cobble with mossy cobble, and the equivalent slabs for those as well. And of course, if you're living in a snowy biome and you want your pathways always shoveled to the side, make sure you place down a layer of string. It will prevent snow from building up on your pathways. And here again, for veteran builders, you may know this already, but for the new builders, this is another one of those little tips and tricks. I do line my pathways with a few patches of spruce gates and then topped with a lantern. Those are just for decoration purposes, and that's just kind of like a little jelly bean to this whole thing, but it definitely brings it all out together so it's feeling connected with the rest of the town. Thank you for building with me today. I love making this split-level holiday house, and I hope it gives you a little spark of cozy inspiration. This island is nearly full now. Kind of makes me wonder if it might be time to retire it. But if you like this build, you're welcome to like or subscribe. I have plenty other tutorials on my channel. But stay curious, stay cozy, and happy holidays!